Welcome to the brand new series on CSS. It is again targeted at the beginners, so it is the CSS crash course for beginners. If you are totally beginner, you should follow my earlier course on HTML, and after that you should move here. So CSS, the full form of CSS is cascading style sheet. As we have seen in my earlier tutorial series on HTML, the website which we created was really ugly. So CSS is used to make website very beautiful, and in fact with HTML and CSS you can build complete website. There is no requirement of JavaScript, and there are many people who have built their whole career on CSS because CSS is considered a bit difficult for developers. So because there are a lot of things and it is considered a bit artistic also. So but at the end of the day there are tags which you have to learn, there are selectors which you have to target, and the more you practice the more you will be better. So let's move forward and don't get afraid by CSS, and let's start. So for starting that, let me first create a new folder on my desktop, and I will tell it as CSS basics, then CSS basics. I will start it with my code editor, which is VS Code. Let me take it here. And inside the CSS basic folder, let me create a file index.html, because even for CSS a base HTML file should be there. And let me increase the font size a bit, and after that, as usual, we will create the HTML with the help of Emmet, and we will give this till this not, and after that we have to press the tab key. I will press the tab key and whole HTML will be found. So let me give the title as CSS basics, BSICS. So actually there are three ways to use CSS. One is through inline CSS, the second one is through internal CSS, so there is a difference, and the third one is through external CSS. External CSS require a file, .css file. So what we will do, we will first see the first two way to use CSS. So the inline CSS, as we have seen in our earlier part, the h1 tags are there. So let us do h1 tag, and then let me write hello world. So as in my previous series also, we are not going to use that index.html file and load it through browser and refreshes every time when you change something. Let me come here and I will show you. There is something known as live server. So we are going to use this live server, but why it is not coming? So let me do disable, reload is required. Let me come back, live server, enable. Yeah, so the live server have come. So this go live should come here. So if it is not coming, you have to do the way in which I have done, or you can uninstall and reinstall it again. So I am starting it. And the server have started, but it is not taking me to my, I think I will directly go. So this is the file in which we have to go, 127 0.0.1 colon 5500 and the index.html. So this is our ugly hello world which it is showing with the default style. So let us style it with inline CSS first. We'll style a bit, then we will understand a bit more about what the format means. So if we want to do a inline CSS, we have to use this attribute style. Then in quotes we can give our whole CSS color blue, and it will give this color means the color is a property in CSS and it should be have the value blue. So let me save it, and because of the live server it will reload and I will get the color blue. So this is how inline CSS works. Now let me do a thing. Yeah, let me make a comment. This is inline CSS. So after that what we will do, we will learn about internal CSS. So internal CSS, what is internal CSS? Internal CSS is the CSS which we write here. See, in this CSS it is very messy. If I give some other property, I have to go in the same line. So this internal CSS is better than inline CSS if you want to use, and this is by just like the title tag there is a style tag also, and whatever we write inside it, it will affect it. So let me go here and we'll do internal CSS. Let me have a paragraph tag. Let have some lorem in it, lorem 40. And now what we'll do, we'll target this paragraph tag. So to target this paragraph tag we have to write p, but this is by writing p every paragraph in this project will be targeted. So in bigger projects we don't give it like this. So after that let me give the color. This time the color will be brown. See, this VS Code gives us this nice suggestions, so what it should come. So we have to end it with the curly semicolon. After this, see, the color is brown now. So this is how internal CSS work. So now we will learn the main way of using the CSS, and this is the CSS. This is the way which we should always follow. This is the external CSS. We will create a file known as a CSS file. So let us create a file like index.html is there. There will be a file with .css ending. So new file, you can name it anything. I am naming it styles.css, and let me target something s3 which I have not yet created. Let me target s3. Background color is anything good. Let me give this aqua, seems good. Color, let me give white. Padding is 1%. We'll learn more about it soon, but background color means the background of the element. Color means the font color actually, and padding we will learn about it soon. It is the space around the element. So I have given all this. After that we have to do some things here because we have not yet an s3. So let me create an s3 first. S3 I will create it here, I will write CSS basics course, and that S3 we have targeted. Let me save it. Even if I save it, nothing will happen because we have to link the external CSS, and to link the external CSS we again have to use a tag known as the link tag. I will give link and then press the tab. It will give me rel equal to style sheet. We have to give an styles.cc. It is coming by default here. So the moment we give this, our S3 will be styled with the background, some padding. As I have told, padding is something which is this. You are seeing this thing, and this thing. Padding of 1% is that. So after that, let us learn about CSS selectors. So what are these selectors? What is this format which we used? Actually, learn about this. This is the format which we use. What is this? So CSS, we write the CSS property inside a curly bracket, and we have a property value pair. See, property is what? Property is background color, value is aqua. Property is this and this. Let us understand it by a diagram. So the diagram is from a blog post on the same topic. So this is known as the selector. This is known as a property. We will soon see this font size property also. Property, and this is the value, and this whole is known as declaration. So we can have multiple properties also like this. You have multiple properties here. One is background color, one is color, and one is padding. So this is how CSS work. So here the first thing which we will learn about colors in CSS. So there are three ways to give colors in CSS. One is the color name, which we have used, like the color name white, color name aqua. The other way is hexadecimal way, which we are soon going to see, and the third way is RGB way. So the most common way is the hexadecimal way. So first thing, as I have told at the end of the first part, that most of our style should go to style.css because this is the standard. And sometime, but I will tell you one thing, sometime in production projects we have to give some quick styles. We don't go to the style sheet, we give it here also. So this is no harm way to do it, but I have hardly seen this in production projects, this way, this internal CSS. Inline CSS I have seen. So let me, but that is not a good way. So let me first delete this. Let me delete this also. There is no inline CSS now. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Now we are left with this. So let us move forward and go to our styles.css, and first thing which we will target is the body. So when we target the body, what happens, see this body tag, so this will get targeted. So everything inside it will use this use the property which we mentioned. If we not override it, that is a very important thing. See, I'm going to give the background color in it, background color, and if someone else also have a background color, so it will override it. So but I will not give the background color with this name, so I give it through hexadecimal. And if you don't know hexadecimal, there is, because I also don't know hexadecimal, there are some very good pickers which will give you the hexadecimal code. So I know one hexadecimal code, F4 F4 F4. Okay, so it generally hexadecimal codes consist of 6 digit. So I gave the background color as a form of a 8, so it changed it. See, the form of a gray, so it changed it. And the second way you have already seen, but then also let me show it again. H1 color is brown, and it will change the H1 color to brown. Then let us target the P, and we will give its color by the RGB format. So RGB means red, green and blue. So as you might know, all the color in the world which the human eye can see can be created using this R, G and V. R means how much red is there, G means how much blue is there, green is there, and B means how much blue is there. So I will give 123.49.49 and let me save it, and it will come to a form of brown only. So this is how we use all these three, but as I've told you, this is the most popular one. And see, even my VS Code is giving me this color picker, and if I change it, see, it will get changed. Let me make it a form of green or dark green. Okay, we save it, and it is looking really ugly because it should not be. I don't know from where it came. So let me revert back. And it again become the grayish white. So the next thing which we will learn is the fonts in CSS. So everything in a website can have fonts. By default, if you don't give the font, it takes something which I don't remember what is the font. Let us see what is the font. We can see anything. So with right clicking and inspecting it, and it is not showing, but I think it is Times New Roman by default. Okay, so let us move forward and we will learn about font. So generally the font we give it in the body tag so that it applies to the whole of the our page, whole of the other elements. So let's give font is given by the term font family, and see, by default it gave me these options, and this is the most common one: Arial, Helvetica and sans serif. So I will choose this and save it. So nothing much happened because they are the default one. And there are many other ways to add fonts also. One is through Google Fonts, but that require an external import, and that will become quite complicated for this series, so I'm not going to show it. But beside this, we have some other web safe font, because the web safe fonts are the fonts which are supported by all browsers, because if we use some fancy font, it won't be supported by the browser. So this web safe font is there in my tutorial. So these are the web safe font: Verdana, Geneva, and all these are web safe font. So let us move forward after that, and what we will do, there are some other important font properties like font size and font weight. So that we are going to do. Font size is known as is the size of the font. Let me increase it to 20px, and font weight, there are many different font weights, 100, 200, 300. We can give all of them. These are the values which are available to us. So I will choose bold and I will save it. Now see, the font size have increased a lot, 20px, and it is bold. So this is the way we do it. So now there is another important property here, which is known as line height. Line height is, if you are seeing, this is the space between each line. So there is a property for that also, that is known as line height, and it is generally we give line height in EM. I'll soon tell what is EM. There are actually three major way to give anything. One is EM, one is REM, another is pixel, px. So let me give 1.6 EM. See, the spaces have increased between them. So this is how it is. And then after that, as I have told you, the units of measurement. So EM means element or something, because I don't know what does EM means exactly. So in EM, what happens if a div has a size of 30 pixel, then all its children also, for them, one EM will be equal to that only, that 30 pixel. But in one REM, there's the other thing which is known as REM. In REM, what happens if the font size of the root element is something, is say 16 pixel, then all the other elements will be 16 pixel. It is not dependent on its parent. So REM is the most popular way to give anything. And so generally what we do, we don't give the font size in a p tag. We give the font size in a body. So let me remove this, let me copy it, and let me come here, let me give this here body 20 pixel, and here I will give 1 REM. So this 20 pixel is the bodies, and 1 REM means 20 pixel only. So this is how we do it in modern websites. So let me save it. So it had become smaller, as you have seen, because it is also that. So let me do it 1.2 REM. So 1.2 REM means 1.20 pixel for 1 REM. So we have to multiply it by that. So this is how the calculation works. To become a bit more, if you give it 2, it means it is 40 px. So this is how EM and REM works. Actually there is a very good article also regarding this, which you should check, and the article is here. So I will provide a link to this article also in this in this video, so you can go through it. And she have mentioned very well what is the difference between px, EM. Some good code pen are there, so you should go through it. This is a very good article.